Alex and I are sitting in the barn contemplating. Yeah, she's having her bagel breakfast and we're contemplating what to do today. I should tackle the Scotia tomatoes. I don't really want to, but they are so overgrown, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we can't even see what's on them. I know they're loaded with fruit, but it's hidden by all vegetation, so yeah. We're just going to go out and maybe rip some of the vegetation off and see what we've got. And, yeah, it's kind of a...
I put them a little too close.
Yeah, it's a kind of a farm pondering, right, Alex? It's like maybe we planted them just a little too close.
Just a little bit, though.
A little bit. But they've never grown quite to the size that they've grown this year before. I guess they like the new place and the new soil. Our Scotia tomato patch
is pretty...
out of control, huh?
It's non-stop.
Yeah, we can't even really see what's going on in there. After pondering this for a little bit this morning, I've decided I think we should just remove some of the vegetation. I don't know how else to actually get in there. It's an heirloom variety that we've been growing for, oh boy, at least 7 years.
So hold.
Our favorite tomato by far on the farm. Pick up that really nice one there, Alex, while I'm talking about the tomatoes. Hold up the out of your bowl, the one that you picked there, the beautiful one there.
There's also another one in there.
Well, let's look at this one first. So the one thing I would say that is my favorite feature about the Scotia tomato is they always look like they came fresh from the store, but they taste way better.
Yes. And I picked this one before the video.
You did pick it before the video. You cheated and went ahead.
Yeah.
But hold it still so we can just see. So you can see that's a really nice one. That's the one that we would probably keep seeds from. It's a good specimen. Fills the palm. Each one usually is around 4 ounces roughly in size. They're a great slicer tomato. Great for sandwiches. Yeah, I also use them for juice because they are a very nice juicy tomato. But anyways, we're going to move ahead here with our clearing vegetation, and we basically decided to sit down for this job because it is going to be quite challenging. We're kind of just going to start with removing some of the main leaf branches. I know this isn't great for the plant, but I think at this point we've got enough fruit on here. It needs to be exposed so it will ripen. We always put all our cut off vegetation off to the side. That way we don't have any bugs and things that come to these afterwards and contaminate the plants. So we will actually put those in the tumbling composter after we're finished up. That is lamb's quarters. It's a weed. You can keep pulling her if you want. The bunnies will eat that. The bunnies, there's not too much that'll eat the tomato greens. The sheep will if they get desperate. But our sheep seem to be well fed enough that they don't want them. There's just a lot of greens on this. Oh my goodness.
It's so bad.
They've never ever grown so vigorously.
Since we started growing these Scotias, normally they're kind of skinny plants, or they always have been, but
and sometimes even look sickly.
Yeah, but they always produce really, really well. So we've really liked this variety, and they are actually a Canadian variety of tomato, which is kind of neat. Not that we exclusively try to grow Canadian livestock and plants, but it's definitely something we think about when we can. So anyways, these are just loaded, as you can see in underneath here. A lot of them aren't ready quite yet, but it's just
hoping that taking off the greens will get them the sunlight they need to ripen up. A little, what do they call that where you damage the plant? Anyways, plant damage, stress, yeah. Stressing the plant, then you end up, it ripens its fruit quicker sometimes, so.
But anyways, these should yield really well for us. And next year we will be planting them a little further apart. We basically, you can barely see it here, but we've got like a double tomato cage going on.
There is a row that
in
you're supposed to be
between.
able to walk right in here, but
So it's actually four
rows
of Scotias, but But next year I think we'll be making sure we only do 2 rows together. That's not so bad, you can still get in, but and space them out with a much bigger walkway between
2 feet
them.
as a walkway in between was not enough this year. No. We're about an hour in, and I think I'm done. I can't believe the fruit that's on these plants. A lot of it's not ripe yet, but that's because there was so much greenery. I imagine lack of sun. But I'm going to give you guys a little peek at this. Yeah, these would definitely make our top tomato list. They always do. Never, ever have they let us down, but we've never had a year like this. Not sure if it's weather, new property, different ground. Not sure what it is, but I'll take it. As you can see now, my path is back. Very narrow, but it is back. And we've got tomatoes like you would not believe. I mean, look at that one. It's just covered in tomatoes. They're thick in there. I tried to do kind of a count. I believe we planted 28 tomatoes here. Learning curve on this, we planted 28 tomatoes in a 10 by 12 foot space. Maybe it's even narrower than 10, I'm not really sure. I didn't give an actual measure. Super pleased. Looking forward to these ripening now that they're exposed and getting on to some more canning. I guess we're about 2 weeks from when I pulled all the greenery off of our Scotia tomatoes. I just kind of wanted to do a little end to this video here to show you how they're doing now. Basically, I have to say they're doing amazing. I've been harvesting off them for, you know, pasta sauces, all that sort of stuff for the last 2 weeks. You can see, and like I say, I've been harvesting probably, I don't know, 12, 15 tomatoes a day just for use in what we're actually working on. So, and there's tons more green ones coming here, which hopefully they'll have a long enough fall season here to ripen. If not, I just bring them in and I ripen them inside. But nice thing about having them all this close together is I can very easily cover this. So if it starts to look threatening, like frost, I'll just throw the tarp over top and they'll be just fine, or some sheets. But I did want to do a recap on these because they look amazing and are doing amazing. The one thing I will say, I never take off the suckers. And I know that's a big thing with tomatoes. A lot of people do it. A lot of people recommend doing it. But you know, half of these tomatoes are on what would have been a sucker. So I guess it just depends on your season and whatnot. I know that the taking off the suckers will help the plant grow better, put the effort into the fruit instead of growing more, you know, branches. That would be probably why I had so much greenery as well, was the fact that the suckers had been allowed to go. But all those suckers have produced fruit. I mean, there's one here on the ground, unfortunately, but it had fruit I've been picking off of. I know the chickens nabbed a little bit. Probably do the experiment next year and try to remove the suckers and see, after having this many this year, I can afford not to have as many next year. Here's another one. Again, this is a sucker and it has got fruit, you know. So I do definitely understand the perks to removing them, but I also see perks to leaving them. Anyways, that's the wrap up on the Scotia tomatoes.